Wet dreams. It's the sticky situation that no one wants to talk about, but as boys, it's something we've either dealt with already or it's something we've got to look forward to. If you're not sure what's happening, a wet dream can come as a confusing yet embarrassing surprise. So what is it? Why does it happen? And are wet dreams a part of your life forever? You'll have to stick around to the end of the video to find out. Hello and welcome to my channel, where we share tips and tricks for parents, tweens, and teens. If this is your first time here, make sure to turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on our weekly updates. Now let's jump straight in. Just imagine you're having the most vivid dream you've ever had. Everything looks and feels so real. Then the dream takes a little turn down a slightly naughty path. All of a sudden you experience a pleasurable yet unfamiliar sensation. There's a feeling of tension followed by a release. This release is powerful enough to wake most guys up from their dream. So what the hell just happened? Well, you've just had a wet dream. But what exactly is it? To put it simply, a wet dream is when you ejaculate semen, or the fluid containing sperm, during your sleep. It's known by a few other names as well. The more formal medical term is nocturnal emission, but a wet dream can also be described as a sleep orgasm as well. While the feeling is strong enough to jolt some guys awake, many guys sleep right through it, only noticing the sticky residue left on their pajamas or bed sheets in the morning. Why do they happen? As puberty ramps up, the male hormone testosterone is released in high concentrations in the bloodstream. While we sleep, our genitals are hypersensitive as they receive more blood flow than usual. This means that any friction with underwear or bed linen is felt a lot more while we sleep. Any slight tossing, turning, or repositioning in bed can cause some unintended arousal. Added to this, our dreams can suddenly venture into the more adult-themed variety, and the arousal builds even further. But it's not just a reaction to sexy dreams and satin boxer shorts. The body actually uses nocturnal emissions to help reduce excess semen, clearing out the older sperm to help with the natural formation of new, healthy sperm in the body. How common are wet dreams? Nearly all teenage boys will experience at least one wet dream as they go through puberty. It's a sign of healthy sexual function, and despite many urban myths, it doesn't mean you're dirty or immoral or sleazy. In fact, it's quite the opposite. And while wet dreams mostly occur throughout puberty and through your teenage years, it's not uncommon for nocturnal emissions to continue into adulthood, although not as frequent. Despite how common they are for teenage boys, it's also important to recognize that no two people are the same. Some boys might have a few, while others might have a lot. There are some people who have wet dreams as teenagers but not as adults. Some people don't experience them at all. At the end of the day, dreams are super personal, individual experiences that are different for everyone. Are wet dreams always caused by erotic dreams? While it's true that sexually charged images or situations in your dreams are often the main culprit for nocturnal emissions, it doesn't have to be a Baywatch slow-motion dream sequence that can set things in motion. I know this may be a little TMI, but I've had nocturnal emissions from a roller coaster dream, and I'm pretty sure I'm not into roller coasters. In fact, as we mentioned earlier, hypersensitivity during our sleep from increased blood flow can often get things started, regardless of the contents of your dream. It's important not to read too much into the psychological reasons behind your wet dream. Sometimes your body just doesn't care what the brain thinks and will react with a mind of its own. Can anything encourage or prevent a wet dream? There's a lot of misinformation out there. On the one hand, you've got people who swear by methods to prevent wet dreams from ever happening. On the other hand, there are even a few old wives' tales about what can help increase the likelihood of having them. So what are these rumors, and is there any truth to them? The first is that masturbation will prevent wet dreams from happening. The thought behind this is, if you're constantly emptying out all the reserves, the body won't need to expel any excess sperm. While it's true the body does use nocturnal emissions as a way of cleaning house, it's not the primary function, and a wet dream is an involuntary reaction to arousal stimuli. The second urban myth is that sleeping prone or on your stomach is a way to increase the chances of having sexually charged or lustful dreams. While there's been some research conducted on this theory, the link between sleeping position and dream content is still not fully understood. Added to the problem is the fact that we never stay in the same position all night while we sleep. You might start the night on your stomach, but roll to your back or side throughout the night. And finally, some sleep researchers suggest that you can sometimes influence the narrative or theme of your dream through various techniques. The first is focusing on a particular theme as you drift off to sleep or have some external stimuli playing in the background throughout the night. The second is by using specific lucid dreaming techniques to consciously control the narrative of your dream. Lucid dreaming is the phenomenon of becoming aware that you're dreaming in the middle of your dream. Then, as opposed to being just a spectator in your dream, you become an active participant, able to control the environment around you. Want to fly? Sure thing. Want to take Ariana Grande out to a bikini-only pool party? No problem. You see where this is headed, don't you? If you can control the content or direction of your dreams, there's no reason you can't explore the wildest and most secretive of your fantasies in the safety of your own head. Why do boys have all the fun? Even though this is a video for the boys, there's no doubt that some curious girls are watching too. You might be pleased to know that it's not just boys that have orgasms in their sleep. Girls can have wet dreams too. In research conducted in 1953, a study found that almost 40% of women had experienced a nocturnal orgasm throughout their life, 85% of which had done so before their 21st birthday. So, if they're common and we've known about them since the 1950s, how come when you search wet dreams in Google, all the results are about boys? Well, part of the reason is when boys wake up after a nocturnal emission, either directly after or in the morning, there's a sticky mess left as evidence. While girls produce fluids while being aroused, it's generally nowhere near the volume of a guy's. So this means women can potentially be having wet dreams, sleeping right through them, and forgetting all about them in the morning. The perfect crime. What is and isn't normal? While wet dreams are a completely natural occurrence, there may be some things that could be clues to other conditions you may be experiencing. If you're worried that you're having too many wet dreams, consider chatting with your family doctor to rule out any medical issues that may be contributing to them. Likewise, if the dreams that are triggering these nocturnal emissions are particularly dark or traumatic, your doctor may refer you to a counselor who can help you discover the root of the dysfunction. And lastly, frequent wet dreams don't have a sinister connotation. It doesn't mean you aren't masturbating enough or aren't sexually active. It has nothing to do with how you feel about your boyfriend or girlfriend. As we said before, sometimes downstairs has a mind of its own, and the trick is to not take every decision it makes personally. That's it for today's video. We hope you learned more about that sticky situation we call a wet dream. If you found this video helpful, please click on the like button and share with anyone you may think can benefit from this information. And don't forget to leave us a comment. Until next time, thanks for watching.